In this video, I will be listing off some things I think should be in the new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Keep in mind this is from a fan that doesn't know how to make games, but I do have opinions on them, so realize these are just opinions, and you can have your own opinion if you want these in or not. And also leave down below what you think should be in the game, if it's not already mentioned, or if you want to add to something that I talked about. The first thing and the most important thing I think needs to be in this game, because it's going to be a remake / remaster of the third and fourth game, the original maps need to be respected. For example, in Pro Skater 1 and 2, Streets is very disrespected. Embarcadero does not look like that. There's no planter there. It's a full-on ledge that is long, big, wide, all the above. Did the person that remade this map not get any references of what this area looked like IRL? So yeah, I'm very passionate about this, and I hope that they are respectful with these maps. The layouts of these maps need to be the same, and basically just upgraded versions of these maps, so better textures and lighting and all of that. Personally, I don't think they should make any changes to the layout of the maps, and keep the missions relatively the same. Maybe improve on some missions if needed, but for the most part, they shouldn't be changed that much at all, because I think that the maps have amazing missions and all of that, so all in all, just let the maps be respected, okay? And same with the scoring, don't change the scores, but if they do, maybe make them a little bit higher and a little bit more difficult. They don't need to be changed because the third game goes up to 500,000 and the fourth game goes into the millions, so there's no reason for them to be changed. In Pro Skater 1 and 2, it goes up to 250,000, so this is a good amount to jump up to in my opinion. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 needs better animations, at least compared to 1 and 2. Pro Skater 1 and 2 had a mixed bag of animations. Some were really good, but then some, in my opinion, were pretty bad. Thankfully, they did improve on a few animations as the game did get updated a few times, but that didn't fix all of the bad ones. I don't think the tricking animations in the fourth game are too bad at all. I think there's a lot of good ones. So if they stay in line more with the fourth game for at least a lot of the tricks, that would be amazing in my opinion. And if anything else, improve on the ones that they deem as bad animations in the fourth game or the third game. As someone that really loves playing online on Thug Pro or Rethought especially, 1 and 2's online was a real disappointment. And not just from me, a lot of other people had a big disappointment in the community, and there's a big reason for that. There's no communication with anybody. No text chat, no voice chat. Straight up, you couldn't talk to anybody. And if you were playing on Epic when the game launched, there was no way to really talk to them in the slightest. On Xbox and PlayStation, you can send them a message, but on PC, you're friending an empty shell pretty much. Like, yes, they're skating, yes, they are a player, but there's no way to find out who they are or get any communication with them. So the only times that you would be able to know somebody is if you actually know them beforehand and you somehow joined the same game. They did add a thing to where you could host your own game, and that was really good, but there was still no way to talk to people. And there's two things for online that I hope are in the game. One, either text chat or voice chat, and two, a server list. Not just queuing into a game that's an auto server, meaning it's automatically going through game modes and maps, but actually someone hosting the game, selecting what map they want to play, what game modes they want to play, how they want the game mode to play. That's what it's like in the older games, so I hope they bring that back. Another thing I hope this game adds is a replay system. So whether that's like a replay editor like Skate 3, or it's saving a replay like it was when you were playing the game. Either way, I think that this game could really benefit from this, because while yes, we have these systems so that we can save it onto our console, I think being able to have a replay system in the game would be really beneficial for people that are trying to clip things. In the older games, we did have a replay system, and it was pretty interesting. It was pretty cool, and me personally, I hope they bring this back. This seems like a weird one maybe, but I hope they bring Chicago from Pro Skater 4 back. It was from Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2, and it was brought over to this game, but I hope they bring it back because, in my opinion, it's a really good map. It could be even better in this game, actually. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, make more walls wall-rideable, because actually there's a lot of walls that are not wall-rideable in the original game. Even some obvious ones that should be wall-rideable just aren't. Another thing, bring back some other things that were from Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2. Like underneath one of the bridges are a lot of rails for you to grind. It was for a mission in Matt Hoffman 2, but something as simple like that could be really fun in the game. They need to add sim mode. What more do I need to say? I know this is just for those that like to play the game a bit more realistically, and I like to do that as well. I like doing big combos that are very unrealistic, but I also like my sim mode. And they somewhat made that in Pro Skater 1 and 2 with extreme physics, so the gravity was much heavier, but go full in, like Rethought. This mod has the best sim mode I've ever seen. Grinds that have friction and slow you down. Going up a slope makes you lose speed. Going down a slope makes you gain speed. There's so much to this. It's so in depth that it feels like its own game. I just want them to bring this back because it adds so much to the game. The replayability from a lot of others, including me, would be a lot higher just from this one thing, because there's much more to do in the game. There's much more you can do with your physics, whether you want to be crazy or you want to do something chill and low key. Now this one I know they're not going to add because I just can see Activision not doing this, but the maps from the N64 and PS1, oh man, those are some really good maps, and I mean it. There are different versions of the maps we get in the PS2 versions of the games, but I kid you not, these are some of the best maps in my opinion. Canada, for example, such a cool iteration of the map. The PS1 version of Pro Skater 4 had such cool versions of maps. Kona with its nighttime was such a vibe. Shipyard was actually really cool in the PS1 version, including a really cool secret area, and 2 extra maps that were not in the PS2 version. The original Xbox version of Pro Skater 3 also had its own map, Oil Rig. This was redone in Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, but come on, these are some amazing maps, and I hope they bring these maps over. This game needs a better version of Create a Skater. It was alright in Pro Skater 1 and 2, but please let us go in depth. The original game let us change our skin into the Hulk if we wanted to. We could be super tall, really fat, super tiny, and just look completely unhuman, and that was so much fun. Let us be able to customize our skater to that extent. I want crossplay in this game, real bad. I want to be able to play with other people from different consoles and also be able to talk to them. Let us be able to transfer data from one console to the other. That's all I ask for this. Being this user-friendly would be really beneficial for us. And last thing I'm going to talk about, a way to get unstuck from our manuals, whether it's a spacewalk or being able to get off our board and actually walk. Now I know it would piss a lot of people off maybe if we're able to walk in a game that didn't have walking originally, but I don't have an issue with it, and I think it adds to the gameplay. Now this is all just what I want, and you can have your own opinions of what you want. Let me know what you think about these. I think that these would really help the game. And yeah, that's about it for me. Let me know what you think. Stay tuned for more Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay goated.